I've been helping people deflate for almost 20 years. William, he deflated and he's happy. And let's not forget Shelley, mother of two. And Petra, she became healthy again. And Amanda, she deflated and now we're dating. Just kidding, she has a boyfriend. If you haven't stepped outside for the last 5 years, then you may not know that we're in the grip of an obesity epidemic. Half the population is overweight and becoming diabetic, whilst the other half is waiting to join them. But before we get going, I want you to know that this is not one of those boring 45-minute long presentations that tells you pretty much nothing and wants to sell you something at the end. Oh, I do have something if you're interested, but I'll still share this knowledge with you for free. Just sit back and learn about food. Simple, no obligation. I want you to understand what I and my patients have known for the last 20 years. 5 simple things that will help you regain control over your eating and your health. First, I'd like to tell you a little bit about myself. I've been a medical practitioner since the late 80s. I specialise in alternate medicine, and in particular, preventative medicine. About 20 years ago, I learned something about our diets and the effect it was having on our health, and I was able to share this knowledge with my patients and help scores of people with their weight, their diabetes, cholesterol, and heart disease. It became so successful I wrote books, and those books sold 500,000 copies in Australia and stayed in print right up until today. The books covered a lot of subjects, but they're not for everybody. This is the original book from 1995, and this is me in 2014 lecturing about food, about diet. So the books travelled all around the world. They were translated into different languages. And the technique is very simple once you know how. It actually becomes quite enjoyable, not worrying about your weight and food. Now, I'm not one of those people who've never had a weight problem, and I'm not going to tell you that being a raw food vegetarian is the only way. I don't count calories, and I don't restrict my intake of food. I love to eat, and I eat plenty of food, meat and eggs and cheese, and plenty of veggies. I probably eat too much, to be honest. But at age 50, I don't have a weight problem. I'm not diabetic. My blood pressure is normal and my cholesterol is excellent. I walk a lot, but beyond that, I'm just like you. The difference is I know how to eat. So let's get started. The first thing I do is help people get sugar out of their diet. Food manufacturers put tons of sugar in food to make people eat more. Sugar is addictive and causes a lot of food cravings. Getting rid of it stops all that compulsive behaviour and binge eating. Then I show that it is not only fattening, it's also unhealthy and leads to serious health problems: diabetes, heart disease, cancer, even Alzheimer's. The next thing I like to show is that there's a lot of carbohydrates that are the same as sugar. They get put into food for the same reasons. Now you're probably wondering what they are. So I'll tell you. Corn syrup, rice flour, wheat flour, fructose, potato. There are a few more, but you get the idea. They have the same effect. They make you fat. Once you start getting the sugar out of the diet and the bad carbs, then I can show you how to eat and keep the blood sugar under control. And why is this important? Keeping blood sugar under control keeps insulin under control. Insulin controls whether you lose weight or gain weight. For example, everything we eat is always a combination of fat and carbohydrate. Ham and cheese sandwich? The ham and cheese are the fat and the bread is the carbohydrate. Hamburger and fries? The hamburger and the oil on the fries are the fat, and the bun and the potato are the carbohydrates. Fried chicken? The chicken and the oil provides the fat, and the breadcrumbs the carbohydrate. Lasagna. The meat and the cheese is the fat, and the pasta is the carbohydrate. Bacon and eggs. The bacon and the eggs are fat, and the toast or potato are the carbohydrates. So why do we always combine fat with carbohydrate? Because if we didn't, we couldn't absorb the fat. The carbohydrate is the key to absorbing the fat. And remember, the body loves fat. Because there's heaps of nutrients in fat that some plant or animal has used a lot of energy to create. And when we come along and eat said plant or animal, we get all that energy for free. So it's pretty important for our bodies to get all this energy. So carbohydrate unlocks insulin, and it's the insulin that allows the fat to be absorbed. We love these carbohydrates, and now we find it in everything we eat. So let's take a look at what the average family will buy in a week of shopping. And let's see if we can spot the fat and the carbohydrates. This family is from Australia. Take a look. You can see the fat is basically all the meat in front of them, the cheese. And if you look behind the boy in the orange top, you can see all the sugar drinks that his family drinks over the course of a week. And then when you look to the left, you can see all the sugar in the cereals, the white bread, the McDonald's, the chips, the fish fingers. That's all the fat and the carbohydrate combined. And if you have a look, well, more than a few of them have got a weight problem, in fact, obesity. This is an English family. See the kids? They like to eat the cornflakes, the same cereals as the Australian family. But on the left you see all the chocolates, Bickies, that's just sugar and fat combined. You can see the loaves of bread, big cake in the middle, just sugar and fat combined. And this family is from America. You can see people love pizza. It's just a combination of fat and carbohydrate. You can see all the meats, the cheeses, the tacos, the takeaway food, all the chips going up the wall on the right-hand side, the cans of soft drink, the boxes of Coca-Cola. Yeah, that's why diabetes is such a huge problem in the States. And finally, I have a family from Africa. And if you take a look, this family only has one can of tomato down there on the left-hand side. That's the only processed food they buy. They have a few bags of sugar there, some flour, but fundamentally, totally different sort of diet. So how did we end up like this? Millions of years of evolution has made us really good at finding food. Now this may seem a little obvious, but let me put it into context for you. Our primitive ancestor is searching for food, and he comes across a pile of mammoth droppings, and he thinks to himself, I wonder if I can eat this. So the first thing he does is he smells the dung, exactly like we would do if we're not sure about something. We like to smell it first. At the moment he smells it, his nose tells him if it's edible or not. Actually, we know now it does a chemical analysis that can detect nutrients at a molecular level. And this information is sent to the brain as an electrical signal. And our friend thinks, doesn't smell good. But he's pretty hungry, so he thinks, okay, I'm going to taste it. And so he tastes it, and guess what? It tastes the same as it looks, so he thinks, yep, I'm not that hungry, and keeps searching for food. So what happens when he comes across honey? First he smells it and he thinks, this smells good. Then he tastes it and he thinks, oh boy, it tastes yummy. And he sits down and gets stung by a few angry bees and enjoys his honey. So this may seem a little silly, but remember, a few million years ago we weren't that bright, but our brains had already developed very sophisticated ways to help us find food. And so the next thing to appreciate is this. Brain chemistry is still helping us find food, but guess what? We've found it. It's taken us a few million years to perfect our food, But now that we have all the food we need, we can't turn this survival mechanism off. Banksy's depiction of primitive man sums up our predicament quite accurately. The primitive hunter-gatherer in us has finally achieved its primary goal to perfection. We have hunted and gathered the essential ingredients for our survival, crossed vast oceans to find it, fought wars for it, perfected ways of making it, have books dedicated to it, and now in every household we've found cupboards and fridges full of it, letterboxes full of menus dedicated to it, and convenient high-speed stores that sell it so we can get it anytime we want it. We like it because he likes it, and he likes it because buried away deep in his skull is a sophisticated mechanism responsible for our survival. So don't feel bad if you like junk food. It's actually this guy behind your food choices, but we can't switch him off. And now that we have all the food, we're dying as a species. Something for our survival is now actually killing us. Now, not all carbohydrate causes insulin to be released. There are a great many that will not affect your blood sugar levels at all, and as a result we can eat very gourmet food and be healthy. So the next thing is, I teach people what food to eat to keep the blood sugar levels under control. So how am I and my patients eating lots of food but not putting on weight and getting diabetes? Well, if you know how to eat and not cause insulin to be released, then you can't put on weight. You actually lose weight. And the final thing I help people with is how to go back into the kitchen and reconnect to cooking again. I have about 500 gourmet recipes to keep you going. Yummy, rich and satisfying meals, and it doesn't matter how much you eat. And I've been helping thousands of people for over 20 years. And if you want to get control of your health again, take my challenge. Get all the sugar and bad carbs out of your life. Let me help you, and you'll have something that will change your life forever. It's a promise. Hey, I'd like to thank you for watching this entire presentation. So here's something I'm willing to do. Because you've made it this far, it means that you're ready to make a commitment to your health. So I'll make a commitment to you. This is a one-time offer. I'm going to make you an offer on my 10-day blast-off package. I will give you 30 minutes of my time in one-on-one consultation and discuss your health challenges and the strategies to help. I'll also give you complete access to our private Facebook group. You can share your experience and get support from other people and have any of your questions answered. I'll also send you my PDF with my 3 Steps to Success guide. Plus, send you a 5-minute training video every day of the challenge. I'll also give you my personal promise that you will lose minimum 5 pounds when you've completed the challenge. I'll also give you a money-back guarantee. So I'll give you personal 30-minute consultation, complete access to my private Facebook group, send you 3 Steps to Success, a guide to achieving your goals, send you coaching videos every day of the challenge, personal promise that you will lose 5 pounds, give a money-back, no hassle, no questions asked guarantee. Normally this whole package costs $330, but I'm going to give it to you, this one-time offer, for just $29. Why? Because you've already made a commitment to your health by watching this presentation so far, and I appreciate that. So I'm going to do something for you. Take the offer. Let's get started on improving your health. Let's get you healthy and happy again. Come on. There will never be a better time. Let's go.